way have been like that I think you knew more than we did as teachers, and I just think that's a fantastic thing about teaching entrepreneurs. Some put it this way, that you actually can't really teach it, you can only inspire, and I think there's some truth to that. Because it does mean that you have to kind of take responsibility also for your own learning together with the teachers. And I think for sure you did that. But I'll take you through what I consider some of the 10 entrepreneur characteristics. They might change, but I think these ones are kind of represent what I've seen so far. I'm pretty sure that some of you from animation will recognize some of them, because I don't think it's just entrepreneurs that are innovative. We are all born innovative, I think. But one thing can stand for itself, like the acting, and I hope that you kind of got the impression also that sometimes just acting or just doing something kind of helps you in the process, because you can't get stuck. And if you're just kind of discussing around the table, sometimes you just get locked into the discussion. Sometimes words are not really enough. Sometimes reflections are not enough. Sometimes theory is not enough. You kind of have to get like close to what is the object, what is it all about, what is the meaning of it all, and it often happens, I think, when you kind of meet the people, and especially maybe when you interact with people. And that's why I put act as maybe the first thing, because I think that's so important. A lot of people are speaking about the why, but I think as I've thought this semester, that in somehow the how is just as important, and often in the how you can find the why, but you can't always find the how in the why. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyway, if you do some acting and you get some ideas, how can I do these things in a good way? How can I do a good interaction? Then it also has some meaning in itself, and that's what I mean by it contains the why. So acting is my first word. Also, as Sarah said, it's been really impressive, but it's true, you've been challenged right from the beginning. Present this, pitch this, like all the time, and it's just impressive to see that you've all grown. Some of you had to struggle with the English, but you just did it, and I think that's been really impressive, because it's a big step, I think, for many of you, and it's a big thing nowadays to actually be able to present stuff. And I was so proud the other day of seeing you at the last presentations, that you just by yourself was thinking so much, and how are we actually trying to communicate what we mean. We are not just trying to think about what is it we want to communicate, we're also thinking about how we communicate it, and that's a really strong thing, I think. So I'm pretty sure that most of you will go home and feel that you have some extra skills in promotion. Also, fun and humor is really important, and it was something that I think in the middle of the semester, one team kind of, I can't remember quite how they put it, but there was something like, yeah, we just have so much fun in our team, but I could just see what they meant by fun. That just didn't mean that they were like having a coffee break all the time. It didn't mean really that. It meant that it was sort of integrated in their work. It seemed like to me that it was like the fun goes together with the seriousness. Some people have said that if you don't understand the fun in the serious and the serious in the fun, you haven't understood any of them. And I think that's a pretty good point. Learning can be fun and should be fun. So it's good to see that you've actually done that, I think, in your teams. Also, be present. Somebody has put it that way, that to actually be innovative or creative, you have to be present, as really be in the moment. I think it must be the same doing animation films, that you kind of helps you in this process to actually be in the process and kind of be in a flow. And that's just so important thing. Of course, it's also important when you interact with people, that you're kind of present as a whole person. And it might seem really simple, but I think it's not so simple, at least not for the Danish culture, because a lot of time we spend in our mind in the past or in the future. So we kind of sometimes have to come back and tell ourselves, all we got is really the present. So sometimes we have to like concentrate on just being in the now. So I think that's really something also I've seen you've done. And also, some of you wrote in evaluations that you were in the mini innovation, that I was just looking at them, and some wrote that I like this saying that you fail early to succeed sooner. That made sense for some of you, that sentence. But I think it really takes courage to kind of try stuff and feel that you're not quite prepared, because we're kind of used to that, you know, you have to be like prepared and know exactly what you want. But sometimes you actually had to go and do stuff, test stuff, and you didn't even know what was actually the goal of this. It was just like you had an idea and you would just, let's try this idea, because in that process we might get to know more things. So I've seen a lot of that, and it's just a very strong thing, I think, to see this courage to fail. Yeah. Also reflection, I was talking about be present. Sometimes reflection takes us away from being present, but I think it's also very important you can kind of step back sometimes and just reflect on what is it we're doing and have some self-insight. Why is it that things doesn't work in my team? Maybe what is it that I do that I provoke somebody, or what is it that others do that can make it work? So you have to have this reflection skills also, I think, in teamwork and also in your work. And of course you also have to reflect on what theories can we use to underline what we are doing. At the right beginning, I said one of the things that I would like when we end this semester was that you kind of knew, I'm sure you all knew it somehow in your life, of course, what is inner motivation, but I think some of you maybe haven't seen it maybe so much in education. In my years in education, I've seen a lot of auto-motivated stuff, because it's been like, you know, I'm giving assignments and you have to do this assignment this way and you have to get a grade, and you're kind of concentrated on what is it Frank wants from this assignment. Or maybe you are thinking, what is it my parents want me to take on education do, or what it is that others want from me. And if you just concentrate on that, you're concentrated on auto-motivation. Whereas this is a lot to do with find your inner motivation. What is it that I really want? And I've seen a lot of signs on that, and that satisfies me really a lot. Also, some from inspiration from others talking about entrepreneurship is that we are sometimes